Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back down under the mat. We are here in Madison Square Garage around the pool table of relevancy. This is Mr. Dan Danielson. I am Roddy Reece. We're here to talk about all things professional wrestling. And kicking it off today on a stacked show, we're going to be talking about the handful of matches that have been officially announced for the final time John Cena tournament. What's it called?
The last time is now.
The last time is now tournament. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sir Daniel.
Glad I'm here.
Right, so on Raw we had 2 matches announced, and on SmackDown we had another 2 matches announced. Now, out of who has been announced so far, after Raw finished, I was like, I don't see any of those 4 people being the one.
Oh mate, they were fantastic matches for the mid-2010s US title scene on Raw. Fantastic.
Yeah. So first match that was announced was Rusev versus Damian Priest, which neither of them are going through. Sorry to tell you.
Well, Rusev will win.
Yeah, Rusev. I feel like Rusev's got the possibility of getting through to some of the final matches. I don't see Priest getting through.
Nah. Agree. Yep.
Piss him off. The second match announced, which I think is going to be an absolute banger.
This will be a sick match.
Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sheamus. I think Sheamus will go on in
Sheamus
that.
Goes through.
Sheamus versus Rusev again the following week.
Makes sense. Logical. Sheamus hasn't won the IC title. They've got the feud of that they've had previously.
What are you talking about the IC title for? Something else might debunk that theory.
No.
Over on SmackDown, we had The Miz announced versus Jay Uso.
Now this one, I am happy to talk about this part of the tournament because I'm not happy Jay Uso's in there. I don't want Jay to get anywhere near. If Jay sniffs the final of this, I'm going to be really mad. I don't want Jay and John Cena. No, thank you. Miz's promo that he cut
Backstage.
about how this shouldn't be a tournament. I main evented WrestleMania against John Cena. I beat him. This just should have been me. And that was a very good promo. And that, to me, proves why Miz is who Miz is.
Yeah. When he's rubbed the wrong way and he has a chance to speak his mind, he absolutely slays on that microphone.
Name another wrestler other than, your top tier, your Punks, your Codys, etc., that can grab a microphone and do exactly what Miz did. Nothing. He's better than... This is why everyone shits on Miz that, he's just whatever. He's terrible. He's a mid-card person. Why is he mid? No, he's a double-time Grand Slam champion. He main evented WrestleMania because of this. Because
the only
ever
so 2-time Grand Slam champion.
He is so good with his character, and when he needs to turn it on and be angry Miz, perfect.
Nailed it.
When he needs to be funny with R-Truth and do his moments, perfect. When he needs to show Mello, put Mello in his place and sort of then coach him, but then also be the pricky heel behind it, Miz does all of that. Miz deserves his flowers. I get him to the final.
I agree.
I'm not against it.
I wasn't really on board with Miz having a match against John Cena before, at all this year, to be honest.
I still don't think he needs to win it, but he definitely needs to be in this.
I think he could be up there after that promo. I'm on board the Miz train.
Yep, agree.
Toot. The final match announced so far, LA Knight versus Nick Aldis grabbing the ball out of the tumbler, opening it, and looking at the piece of paper and not telling anyone. Mystery opponent next week live on SmackDown.
So who did you think the mystery opponent is?
I immediately just went, it's Joe Hendry.
Of course it's Joe Hendry.
It's Joe
Do
Hendry.
you know why?
Because they had a... where is SmackDown next week? Is it in Boston as well? No. I swear they released a Joe Hendry Boston shirt not long ago.
No, that's probably the week after. It's in New Mexico or Albuquerque. So wherever it is next week or something is where Edge cashed in on John Cena for the first time. Like I saw that fact, maybe watching one of Sandy's videos or something, but someone had said that the next week's, or maybe it was Raw, whatever it was, is in the place where Edge first ever cashed in on Cena.
Wow. At Elimination Chamber.
No, but it's 100% Joe Hendry. Do you know why it's Joe Hendry?
No.
What did Nick Aldis, when he saw the thing, he said, I'm not telling you who this is.
Because he would have said his name and then he would have
appeared. His name.
It makes so much sense.
Right?
Is that what?
Yes. You can't say his name or he would have appeared, so he didn't say it.
Smart.
It's Joe
Smart.
Hendry.
That is smart writing. That is great.
Very
Absolutely love
logical.
that.
But also, I love that. I think that Joe Hendry should be in this tournament. We said this last week that he needs to be one of the opponents in throughout the tournament to get through.
Yeah. This is only half the field too. We've still got another 4 matches to be announced.
He's beating Joe Hendry. He's beating LA Knight.
Yeah, I don't feel like LA Knight wasn't on Raw at all this week.
So this is another question that's been floating around the internet for the week. Is LA Knight getting buried? Because he held up that sign on Raw that said, "We want LA Knight, not Jey Uso," directly against what WWE is trying to do. And do you think people backstage are a little pissed off that he's trying to
Probably, yeah.
put himself forward?
I would not be surprised. That is how we're led to believe the backstage business works. You do something wrong that the company doesn't want you to do, you get punished, which may be reduced TV time, not getting booked to win matches. So
if he's
out in the first round,
if he's the one that has to face Joe Hendry and loses to Joe Hendry in the first round and then doesn't show back up for Survivor Series or anything, yeah, LA Knight is getting punished.
he's done. I don't honestly, and we've talked about it so much. There needs to be a time for LA Knight sometime soon. Yep. If he loses to Joe Hendry in a tournament in the first round, I don't think he's ever getting back to that main event scene. And he's never going to win a main championship.
I think he will, but I think he needs a reset before he does. Like he needs a break. Like he then comes back, has a good spot in the Rumble, then maybe goes into the Chamber or something, sure. But like we'd said before the Saturday Night's main event thing, he couldn't beat Jey because he was going to lose to Punk. And he couldn't deal with another loss for the title. I don't think he can lose to Cena the same way. So I don't think he's making it through this tournament, which means he's losing to someone. And if he's losing to someone, you might as well make it the surprise opponent. And then he can have that, well, I wasn't prepared. I didn't know who I was versing, blah, 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 blah.
Chris Jericho to come back.
So maybe he's got a bit of an excuse to get out of the tournament that way. But I agree that this mystery opponent, you don't have a mystery opponent in the first round of a tournament to not put them through.
Yeah.
It's unless it's a ridiculous, like, Tajiri or something so wildly stupid that's like, this is never going to happen. Like, this is just a pop
Tajiri.
That it's the Hurricane.
That was the first name you came up with, Tajiri.
That's where I went to. I don't know why.
Amazing.
But yeah, I think that, like you said, this is half of the people.
Yeah. We've still got another 4 matches, another 8 contestants. And I think another one of those will potentially be a mystery opponent.
I think there'll be another one. I think there'll be another TNA. I think, like I said,
I think the big candidates are probably Nick Nemeth or Matt Cardona.
I think Cardona is a really good one. I think the one I said to you when we finished recording last week was Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Jeff maybe pop up because I think he would add some nostalgia and a big name to the field as well. I think Randy Orton probably has to have a crack into this tournament, even though he hasn't been on TV for a while. I don't think we're going to, like we said last week, why would Punk or Cody, etc., not want to be in the tournament? I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah.
But what about Ilya? What about Sami Zayn? What about Dom Mysterio?
Sami Zayn's not medically cleared. Didn't you watch SmackDown?
No, neither was Sol Ruka, and she's supposedly back in like 2 weeks.
We'll see what happens on that front. All right, let's start shifting to some news talk. We've got a lot of news to talk about before we touch on the shows. Let's start with a bit of Japanese flair with our news.
Okay.
So Tanahashi is wrestling his final match ever at Wrestle Kingdom 20.
He is.
January 4th, 2026. No, not against Shinsuke Nakamura, which people thought might have happened. I was on board with it being a little bit of a surprise, but
maybe it's against...
It's absolutely not Kairi Sane.
That's Io Sky, but sure.
Okay. Racial profiling, my bad.
Maybe it's again... Hang on, I'm just going to pull the whole list.
Oh, bruh. No, we've got too much to talk to.
It is going to be... Not Dante Chen. Stone Cold. That's not.
Kazuchika Okada has been announced as Hiroshi Tanahashi's final opponent, which... After the announcement, it just makes so much sense given how much history they have. But I would have liked to see something different.
I would have loved to have seen Shinsuke. I think that was probably the name most people were hoping outside
probably
of
the most
obvious.
left field prediction too.
Otherwise, it was, is it Kenny or is it Okada?
Yeah.
And I think from a New Japan perspective, for the history that they've had throughout, I think 26 years of Tanahashi's
And what do you do to get people to tune in? You put on
Okada.
a match that people have seen a bunch of times that they know will absolutely slap.
But it can't be Bitch Okada.
No, it's got to be
Okada.
Yeah, it's going to be Rainmaker.
It's got to be Rainmaker 5-star in New Japan Okada.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
please let that match happen.
I was actually thinking maybe that we should get New Japan Wrestle Kingdom?
Maybe.
I was thinking about it.
Maybe we will.
The only time that I've watched Wrestle Kingdom was when Chris Jericho had his first match at Wrestle Kingdom.
Chris Jericho.
Because it was just after he left WWE. AEW hadn't started up yet. And I was like, oh, Chris Jericho wrestling in another company?
Ooh, wild.
Boom. I tuned in.
Look, I think it'd be good. I mean, unfortunately, if you watched Tanahashi in whatever the Stadium Stampede, the AEW match that he was a part of.
Oh, the cage match thing?
Whatever the big cage match thing was.
Oh, man.
He
looked a bit rough.
Old and broken, and unfortunately, I don't think he's going to carry himself to a 5-star match. So whoever has a match with him has to have had some history and has to know how to look after him and to like wrestle him previously. And I think that's why Okada makes the most sense. Yeah. It's kind of like the idea of John Cena to me, right? Obviously John Cena's having his retirement. And this is his last match. A lot of people going out saying that Tanahashi should be wrestling one of the new up-and-comers from New Japan. He should be handing the baton across to the new face of the company, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but also he's wrestled there for 26 years and he deserves the match that he wants and the match for his legacy as the last match to have. And I think Cena is the same. I think Cena in saying that, he wants to see who's hungry and up and coming and blah, 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 doesn't mean he's going to get NXT guys. He's not getting Ricky Saints. He's not going to have Obafemi. It's not going to be the face of the company in 10 years' time. It's unfortunately probably not even going to be Bron Breakker.
It's going to be Jey Uso.
It's going to be an established person that has a history and a legacy with that wrestler. And that's what you're going to get from John Cena's retirement. And that's what you're going to get with Okada versus Tanahashi for his last match.
Yeah, correct. Other Japanese news. Pro Wrestling Noah has had some new champions crowned overnight with NXT Tag Team Hank and Tank taking the Noah Tag Team Championships. And Inamura capturing the Heavyweight Championship. I think there's the GHC Heavyweight Championship in Noah.
Chris can let you know in the comments because he's our
Chris,
New Japan
in the comments,
expert.
let us know. Did I get it right? I just thought I'd give them a little bit of a shout out. Congratulations. Moving on, let's talk about... do we want to talk about some trademarks or potentially someone with a bit of a problem?
We'll talk about the trademark first.
Okay.
The fact that WWE have launched to trademark the name The Tribal Heir. Now, is that Solo?
Is that Jey Uso?
Is it Jey Uso? Because is it...
It can't be Ron because he's currently the Tribal Chief.
Correct. And it's not going to be Bronson Reed because he's the Tribal Thief.
Yeah.
So who's the Tribal Heir? Is one of Roman's kids old enough, ready to go? Is he going to just pop up in NXT and show up on the main roster?
Not yet.
And take out Tala Tonga?
Mate, Ray Phoenix couldn't even take out Tala Tonga.
That was... it wasn't
Ray Phoenix is now apparently a jobber, so watch out. So is Julia too, but we'll get to that later.
Oh, yes, we will.
I think the most logical thing is probably...
I think it's Jay.
Yeah, with where they're going, he's got a crack somewhere. As we've said several times over the last couple of months, it's going to be in War Games. I expect him to turn on Jimmy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we'll just see what happens.
But yeah, Tribal Heir, like it's just... I don't know.
Do we really need that?
No, they do, because they've got to keep the bloodline running, because without the bloodline story, no one cares about Jay and Jimmy. And even from my perspective, right? The Usos, super fun tag team. Uso Penitentiary was great.
Yeah.
They got
peak
good.
Usos.
They got peak in the bloodline.
Yes.
You take the bloodline away from them, they're not as good as they are. So how do you keep them as relevant and as popular as they possibly can be at the top of the card? You keep that bloodline story going. You keep the whole idea of the tribal heir and the tribal chief.
Oh, no. Everything's lining up, Dan.
For
Jey Uso to win the tournament and then face John Cena.
No.
Because he's going to beat John Cena.
No, he's going to win the Royal Rumble back-to-back because we forgot he won it this year.
Well, yeah. I really... Dan was saying off-air, if Jey Uso gets in the final, we're boycotting Saturday Night's main
No,
event.
I'm not watching John Cena's last match. Can't do it.
Well, it's kind of funny that you mentioned that because I hadn't even thought Jey Uso would get close to it, to be honest. Mm-hmm. But there was articles coming out this week that Triple H sees Jey Uso as a future multi-time WrestleMania main eventer. And how do you propel him to that main event? By putting the greatest of all time out of his career.
No. I don't know. I don't want
Everything's lining up, Dan. Everything's lining up.
I do not want to see it.
And then he becomes the tribal heir. And you know who he faces sometime down the track after he's got a championship? I'm the champion. And then he faces the tribal chief.
I don't want to say it.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
And the
Let's
fact
move
that,
on.
like, unless they're trying, the other thing they might be trying to do is make Jay Uso the like Saturday night's main event because he's main event Jay. So he's
and he gets a championship at every Saturday night's main event, but never wins.
Oh, he's had a fair few shots on main event so far.
He has.
Maybe put him on the actual main event show, just not on TV anymore.
That car sounded like shit. Don't know if you could hear that. Sounded like shit.
The joys of recording in a garage.
Absolutely. Ridge Holland, mate.
Oh,
We're going to talk about your mate, Ridge Holland.
fuck.
Recently let go from WWE. Contract was not renewed. Preaching on social media, on Twitter first, I believe it was. I can't pay my mortgage because I don't have a job anymore. I got kids, man. From here, I'm going to hand it over to you because Dan's got some controversial things to say.
Look, you can say controversial, however you want to put it. I don't like Ridge Holland. I never have. I think he's a shit wrestler, right? Those Americans and stuff that watch the show, you probably don't. You might not be aware of the animosity between the English, which is what Ridge Holland is, and the Australians. Australia is a convict nation. A couple of hundred years ago, we all went on boats away from England, came to this beautiful island, created Australia, and now we're all here.
And now we're still ruled by England.
And we're still ruled by England, and they still think they own us. But in every sport we ever play them in, we beat them because they suck.
Smashed them in the NRL Ashes.
Smashed them in the Ashes. We beat them in the cricket, like the rugby. Maybe they get us in the rugby every once in a while. But Ridge was a rugby player. He obviously then went into wrestling. So he's being an English person, and I don't like Ridge Holland. Now, for me, this whole diatribe that he's put out that he is the victim, that I can't even afford my mortgage, I've got 5 kids, they've really screwed me, blah, blah. No, they haven't, dickhead. You have a contract. Every single wrestler that works for WWE and AEW is an independent contractor. Do you know what that means? That means you sign a contract that says from the 1st of April 2020 to the 1st of April 2023, I am under contract with you and you will pay me money. So Ridge Holland has signed a contract that says until the 15th of November 2025, you will be under contract, you'll be working for us. Do you know what that means? On the 16th of November, he's not under contract, he doesn't have a fucking job. And he knew that the second he signed that contract. So don't you go and blame WWE that you're thrown out on your ass and you've been blindsided and I don't know what's going on, why they're not paying me, they're screwing me over. You signed a contract that runs out. They are a business. They are not entitled to keeping you going. I work for the government. You work for the government. Any job that you have in any position that is a contracting role, do you know what can happen within 7 days? Your contract ends. Sorry, we don't need you anymore. Go find another job. Guess what happened, Ridge? You knew this contract was running out in November. You've known this for months that this is happening. Yes, you've been injured. That sucks. Fully get it. Are they still paying all your medical bills for you? Yes. Are they still paying all your rehabilitation for you? Yes. Does that mean they have to keep paying you a job and a salary after your contract ends? No, it does not, you whinging sook. I will give all the credit in the world to Chelsea Green and all the other wrestlers that are donating funds to Ridge Holland to try and help him out because they're friends. That's lovely. The fact that somebody said that Chelsea is on one of the lowest paid WWE wrestlers on $500,000 a year or $40,000 a week, and she's giving Ridge Holland $1,000 a month. That's such a big thing for her. $40,000 a month. So if that's what she was on, let's assume Ridge was on half that, $250.
Yeah.
Right? $250 a year. You're telling me on $250,000 a year, you are then unable to pay your mortgage when that contract finishes because you have no money left? And you have 5 kids? I have a kid. I have 3 kids that I pay for. I have a mortgage that I pay for. I don't get paid anywhere near that amount of money. So Ridge Holland, go fuck yourself. End of rant. I'm done.
No, I don't really have anything to add to that. I wasn't prepared for all of that. You can probably see how awkward I felt.
I can't stand people coming out and blaming companies and businesses when it's their own fault.
Yeah.
Like, this is his own financial problem that he
would have known, like as you mentioned, he would have known that contract was coming up. He would have known there was no talks to extend that contract or reach a new agreement or 100%. anything. So it would have been a known conclusion that was about to happen.
And you don't have to rely on being a wrestler. Like, he's a big, strong bloke. Work in a gym, work in a PT, be a tradie, go be a bricklayer, be a male stripper. Who cares? There is many jobs in this world that someone as big and strong as Ridge Holland, and fair enough talented, I guess, if you want to think that he's talented, that he could do.
Yeah.
How many other wrestlers have been out of their contracts? Matt Cardona. Made a
Look
career
what
himself.
Cardona did. We talk him up all the time.
Karrion Kross, Spike Dudley, name any wrestler that has finished their contract or stopped wrestling and then they're still doing signings or podcasts or TV appearances or have a real job. Go and do that. Don't sit on Twitter and complain that you can't pay your mortgage because, the big bad company aren't paying me any more money. Fight me in the comments, Ridge. It's you specifically.
Let's pivot away from that. Get on something a little more positive. You mentioned Matt Cardona and Karrion Kross. Well, we've got some sweeping announcements over the Australian professional wrestling scene over the last couple of weeks, with World Series Wrestling announcing they're coming back in May.
Yes.
Next year.
But they're not going to Brisbane and people are pretty cranky about that.
Yeah, but they're doing 2 nights in Melbourne.
Correct.
Brisbane sucks, bro. Get over it. Get over it.
I'll get the dates for us. Hang on.
Yeah, you get the dates. I'll rattle off who's been announced already because I kind of know already. So I think first announcement we had was Baron Corbin, now known as Bishop Dyer.
Yep, correct.
So he's coming along. We then had the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson, announced, which is absolutely fantastic to see. We've got Shotzi Blackheart returning.
Yep.
Well, actually making her first appearance. We've got Matt Cardona returning. We've got Nick Nemeth returning. And we've just had the recent addition of Karrion and Scarlett.
Killer Cross.
He's not carrying anymore.
So it starts in Adelaide on the 15th of May, and then it's Melbourne Pavilion, which we've been told by Tuckman it's the best venue in Melbourne.
That's the Melbourne venue.
That's the Saturday, the 16th and 17th of May, and then the 18th of May is Monday night at Panthers in Sydney.
Penrith. That's all I've got to say.
We could see if there's NRL that weekend. Maybe go watch Panthers game on the weekend and then go watch the
I'm going to be a
Monday.
dad
I already
by
am a
that
dad,
time.
Jim. Come on.
Yeah, but
Get with the
first
times.
child.
I
Different
don't see your
priorities.
point.
Different
A
priorities.
couple months later, you'll be all right.
Nah.
Bring the child, get him ready. I'm sure Shotzi will love seeing a little baby.
Yeah. Actually, that might be nice for Annie to come into state.
Yeah. Go on a little nice little trip. Go have some Five Guys.
Oh, 5 guys. Actually, I'm going to Penrith next week, so I'm going to have some 5 guys. Or maybe I'm just going to have 5 guys.
Yeah. That one won't make our TikTok, I'm sure.
You watch, it probably will. You probably will.
Now that I've said TikTok, it will.
Yeah. What do we got? Okay, we got 3 things left before we start talking about the shows. AEW have just announced via social media this week. Last week by the time this is
We're on
all out.
controversy today.
Yeah. Announcing the introduction via a gauntlet match, casino gauntlet match at Full Gear. They will be crowning the first ever AEW national champion. Now, you might say, hey, that kind of sounds familiar, national championship. Well, NWA has the current national championship, the original national championship, and the originator of that championship is actually working in NWA at this current stage. And there's been a fair few people from NWA come out and absolutely lay it into Tony Khan on social media, which is really interesting. And what makes this story extra compelling is the fact that AEW and NWA are currently in the midst of a lawsuit against each other. So announcing this while that's going on, not a good look for AEW. And we're not just talking about this to shit on AEW. This is,
Aren't we?
They're in the wrong.
Of course they're
in the wrong. The national championship hasn't been retired. It hasn't been
Still
merged
active.
in. Yeah, it's
Is it
still active.
Mike Mondo?
Mike Mono, yeah.
Yeah.
Mikey
Yeah.
from the Spirit Squad
Yeah.
looks so much different.
He's the current holding champion, active champion.
Active, laid into Tony Khan on Twitter. Yeah, it's just really interesting. To cover a bit more about the lawsuit that's going on as well, is about Shockwave. You remember Swerve Strickland saying something about AEW introducing a new show called Shockwave?
Yeah.
Last year or earlier this year?
Yeah.
Well, both companies have filed for the trademark of Shockwave.
As a show?
As a show, yes,
Yeah.
correct. While technically NWA filed the trademark after AEW had filed theirs, NWA has used Shockwave in their products years back, dating back to 2020 and earlier as well. So I don't know too much else on how that lawsuit's going, but it's going on. They want Shockwave. AEW wants Shockwave. And then now AEW wants the national championship, which is just dumb.
I mean,
because the thing that we need is more championships in AEW.
This was my point.
Tony Khan came out and said the national championship and the continental championship are still technically active. And then we've now got the unified championship. So Okada technically holds 3 belts.
Yeah. So
Why do we need another 4th?
3-belt Okada to go with 3-star Okada. This
Got
was
him.
my point when it came. I didn't know all the other context behind the lawsuit and stuff, which makes this even worse than it was. But the first thing that I saw when, I can't remember who it was that posted in our Discord, they're bringing in a new title. I was like, because that's what AEW needs is more titles.
We'll let them
This is
slide with the
ridiculous.
women's tag titles.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Because that's a general division that a company with this many women wrestlers should have.
Correct.
But you're right. You've got your TNT, you've got your Continental, you've got your International, you've got your unified champion, you've now got your national champion, then you've got the AEW champion. So that's 6 individual men's titles.
Yes. Which, to be fair,
Plus the Owen Hart.
yeah, it's that's essentially a prize for winning a tournament.
Mercedes is carrying it around and counting it.
It's a belt, not a title,
It's a
not
belt.
a championship.
So 7 belts. Right? And that's just your individuals. Then you've got your tag. Then you've got your trios. Then you've got your Ring of Honor champion.
But to be fair, you say
Then you've got your
6
Ring of Honor
championships,
TVT.
right?
Yeah.
You say 6 championships.
Sure.
WWE also has 6 men's singles championships. So do we really have a leg to stand on?
I mean,
We're complaining about it when we don't complain about how many champions.
They've got more than 6. Don't they?
Well, not including NXT.
Well, okay.
So you've got your 2 world titles.
Yeah, and then you.
Actually, it's 4. I'm dumb.
Yeah.
Maths.
No, well, 'cause I'm
Intercontinental
not counting
US.
speed. I'm not counting
Yeah.
NXT or anything like that. It's
So
intercontinental.
yeah, we do have a
US
leg
and
to
2
stand on.
worlds.
Fuck AEW.
That's 4.
All right, I'll shut up.
I don't think you need more titles. I think to the point where they are now, with this many titles and stuff being on
Shit becomes
television,
meaningless.
exactly. There's no meaning to when you're defending the belt because either you don't defend it because you forget that it's a real thing for 3 months, like the trios titles, or they're defended every week on Dynamite and no one cares about it because it's all right. He'll just lose that and then go get a different one because he's got 4 other titles he's got. I don't think they need this at all in any of their booking.
No. Correct.
Make your existing titles more relevant than adding more things to it. And if it is just Tony Khan wanting to have a shot at NWA, he's a petulant child and he really shouldn't be doing it. Stop being the son of a billionaire and just playing all of your money against the entire wrestling business because you can.
No truer words have been spoken.
Apart from the stuff I spoke about Ridge Holland before.
You really don't like Ridge Holland.
No, I don't like Ridge Holland.
Let's talk a
Never
bit
should have been
about.
Chase You, jerk.
Let's talk a bit about age in wrestling. We had an interesting chat in our Discord earlier this week about there's a picture circulating social media at the moment with the age discrepancy between wrestlers in the main event scene in the year 2000 to what it is now.
So 25 years ago.
Yeah, 25 years ago to now. Let's roll through the list and some
Before
ages.
you go through the list, how many people watching our videos weren't born before 25 years ago, before the 2000s?
Yeah, let us know if
Put
you're
us in the comments. Let
younger
us know
than 25.
if you weren't even born before this happened.
Because we've got some stacked names on this list, and if you weren't even born by the time they were in their prime. I don't have anything else to say.
Well, you were still pretty young by then.
2000. Yeah, I guess I was. I was 8.
Yeah, you're 8 years old, mate.
Yeah, but that was like peak wrestling, man. That's like when I started getting into it, and then it went to the
That's exactly when you understood all the stories with Trish Stratus and Stone Cold and Undertaker and Sarah and all that stuff. You're like, yeah, as an 8-year-old, I totally get what's going on with all this stuff.
Yeah.
Why is DDP taking this person's wife? It must be a wrestling storyline. That's hilarious.
shit we used to watch back in the day.
I know.
Fucking wild. Wild. All right, so we got The Rock 28 years old. Stone Cold, 36. The Undertaker, 35. Mick Foley, also 35. Triple H, 31. Kurt Angle, 32. There's a bit of a trend here, can you see? Mm-hmm. Shawn Michaels, 35. Kane, 33. Chris Jericho, 30. Big Show, 28. With an average age between all those 8 contestants, 32.3 years old.
So that's in the year 2000. That's your main event scene, averaging early 30s.
Yeah.
You're not including Ric Flair. You're not including Hulk Hogan. You're not including Vince McMahon. All of those would throw your numbers off because that would then obviously change the narrative of what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
So I get why they've removed those. So that's fair. But like early 30s, sure. If you look at the year 2000, you look back then, like, I mean,
different ballgame entirely.
Absolutely, it's a different ballgame. You look at Hulk Hogan in the 80s, right? Wow. He was balding and old, and he looked now what we would say is, geez, that guy's like 45, 50 years old. No, he was like 26.
Poor
like
guy.
you look at the Bushwhackers and the Earthquake and stuff like that. They were late 20s. And they did not look current day late 20s. So the context that I want to make sure that we all get here is that what was 32 in the year 2000 is not what is 32 in 2025.
Correct.
But read me 2025.
All right. Cody Rhodes, 40. Roman Reigns, 40. John Cena, 48.
Yep.
Randy Orton, 45. Gunther, 37. Seth Rollins, 39. CM Punk, 46. Drew McIntyre, 40. Kevin Owens, 41. Jey Uso, 39, with an average age of 41.5.
So that's obviously inflated by putting in John Cena at 48.
Yeah, a little bit, especially given that he's doing his retirement tour.
And considering that, yes, he's in the main event scene this year, but it's his retirement tour. You take him out, that number goes lower.
Yes.
So again, you're sorting your narrative based on which wrestlers you're choosing. Because if we want to talk main event, Bronson Reed, Bronson's like mid-30s, but Bron Breakker has been in the main event plenty of times this year. He's not on that list.
No.
He's not bringing your number down. So, look, I get the point. The thing that I said in our Discord, and I want like everyone to like, the context we all need to understand is, like I said, what was 30 20 years ago is very different to 30 now. 30 is the new 40, 40 is the new 50, or however you want to put it. Aging and just technology and the way that hygiene and everything works, people are performing and looking better at an older age now than they did previously. In the 90s, the TV show that I always bring up on this context, about any of this stuff, The Golden Girls. If you've never watched The Golden Girls show, that's probably fine because you're way too young to have ever seen it. But essentially, it is about a bunch of old women in their golden years where they're all retired and they gossip and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All the ladies in that show were like late 40s, early 50s. You look at a photo of them, which editor Luke will put in here, that was the Golden Girls when they were 50. You want to look at a 50-year-old actress these days? Jennifer Lopez, Salma Hayek. They're 50 years old.
Flawless.
Do they look 50? No.
And make sure you get a real good photo of Salma Hayek in there too.
Sports perspective. Michael Jordan retired in his early 30s in the 90s, right?
He also made a shit ton of money by that stage.
Absolutely, he did. A lot of your NFL players and stuff, like 30 was the peak. You were done. You're over.
Yeah.
Tom Brady won a Super Bowl in his 40s. Tom Brady was a quarterback in the NFL until he was 45 years old. Aaron Rodgers is over 40. Matt Stafford is 39, nearly 40 years old. There is a bunch of Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi. They're both 40. Well, I think Ronaldo is 40 years old. Them at 40 now is better than most people that were 20, 25 years ago.
Correct.
This age debate is irrelevant to me because what is 40 years old in 2025 is the equivalent of what was 25 years old in 2000, sorry. So to point this out and say, WWE is an aging roster, and congratulations, AEW has Julia Hart, who's super young. Kyle Fletcher is really young. Hook is really young. I get it. It's nice. But ages are relevant these days. Unless you're talking about booking 60-year-old people like Billy Gunn and Ric Flair and, that kind of stuff. If you're booking them, sure, have your age argument. But the fact that, how old was Ric Flair when he had his last wrestling? 70-something?
Don't know. Too old.
Is his retirement? John Cena's retiring at 48.
Because he's smart.
Age is just a number these days.
Yeah.
Get over yourselves.
Let's talk about one final thing before we touch on the shows, and that is Grayson Waller, our Australian man.
He's an Australian man?
Our Australian man.
Yep.
appearing on the Chris Van Vliet podcast this week, filmed weeks ago, apparently.
Yep.
While I think they just finished Perth. But this is probably one of the best Chris Van Vliet interviews I've watched. And maybe that's a little biased.
It's very biased.
Maybe it's a little biased, but this just revealed another side of Grayson Waller that we all thought might have been there and brought it to light. And it's kind of all-encompassing on the trip to Australia, how you get started out in Australia, how the transition was from going here to over in America, and the fact that we've now got so much talent in Australia as well as overseas, and like they're just scratching the surface. And massive shout out to the dropouts on the Chris Van Vliet podcast as well. And
to Bailey. Thank you, Bailey, for doing it.
And to Bailey for doing it on Monday Night Raw. Oh, it's just, it's amazing to see Grayson kind of, while keep his character in a way, open up and be himself.
He kept his character almost the entire time until he
started talking about like his goals and what he's thankful for. And that was when he started crumbling a little bit, because Chris brought up the fact that Grayson's been trimmed down heaps over the last few months. He got in the best shape of his life to try and get on the WrestleMania card. Unfortunately, he didn't get there, but he got some matches in his home country on main event. Not quite Raw or SmackDown like he wanted, but there's always another year. And
did he not win the tag titles at WrestleMania this year?
That was last year.
Was that last year?
Yeah. WrestleMania 40. He didn't like talking about Austin Theory, that's for sure.
Nah, that's all fun. That's all storyline. Look, this is a great view of Australian wrestling for those international people that do watch this with Chris Van Vliet, because Grayson gives you a huge shout out to how good Aussie wrestling is. And he makes a very valid point that we are so far away and so detached from the rest of the world.
Yeah.
It's much harder to get noticed. But it has been people like him and Bronson and Rhea that have now let people like Zarya get seen and sponsored and then get across to the US. Yeah. The dropouts probably the next ones to go across. Congrats to Scotty Green for taking his couple of months off wrestling that we didn't know where he was. He was actually on Survivor, which is a TV show.
Crazy.
I haven't watched Survivor for like 20 years, but I'm totally going to go watch the season with you on it just to see. He talked about Jimmy Townsend spending some time in Canada and stuff as well. Like he pumped up the Australian scene, which is great. He was also really open to, his character and how he works within the business, and how he tries so hard to get on shows. And he said that the one thing that I remember listening to very strongly from him was about the stuff that John Cena said, which was you maximize your minutes.
Absolutely.
And he said to him that although you think that you're getting the opening match on Raw or you're on main event or whatever, your mates back home would kill to be able to be watching.
It's not that you have to, it's that you get to.
Correct. And that is such a positive way of looking at this in terms of the wrestling business. And this goes back to you, Ridge Holland, you jerk, is that you didn't have to be a WWE wrestler. You didn't have to get paid on a contract. You got to do that as an opportunity. And so you've got to accept that. And Grayson puts on a fantastic interview. Again, massive shout out to Chris Van Vliet. Like, he is one of those interviewee people. Like, I love watching his podcasts. I also love watching Hot Ones. If you watch the Hot Ones YouTube show, they are two very good shows, very different ways of doing it, but getting their guests to open up and tell you stories.
Yeah.
And once you get a guest comfortable with you and you're not like, so what was this? What was your first that? What was this? What was that? Like, when you're questioning them all the time, they're in an interview. But the way Chris does is he just chats to them. And the Hot Ones is the same, is that like, yes, it's a question every wing you eat, but like you're sitting there eating chicken wings with somebody and
then the conversation flows.
And that's what Chris gets out of people. And this episode with Grayson is just a brilliant episode to watch. And some of the ones he's had this year have been great. The one with Killer Cross and Scarlett was really good. I watched a bit of the one yesterday with Maxine, where she goes through her career and stuff and how she was like a cheerleader and different things. Like, these podcasts are really important for you to watch if you want to get behind the scenes and understand how wrestlers think and what wrestlers' lives are like. CVVs are absolutely the best from my perspective to go and watch those.
Yeah, hands down. No competition whatsoever. Chris Van Vliet is the top of the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interviews.
Podcast goat.
Time to talk about the shows. Kicking off Monday Night Raw, your boy, CM Punk. Whoa! Wait, that's Cody.
That's Cody.
Kick it off SmackDown. Punk saying thanks to everyone. He's back on top of the mountain. He runs through a list of potential opponents next.
Including JD McDonough.
JD McDonough mentioned Finn Balor, who I think got the biggest pop.
Do it.
He's got the real story. He ends up getting interrupted by Logan Paul. And it was at this point I started cracking up because I know how much everyone hates Logan Paul. But you know what? Whenever they run this title match,
It's going to be good.
it's going to be amazing.
It's gonna be a real good match.
And you're going to eat your words. They would end up getting interrupted by Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed, and Bron Breakker. Come out, wouldn't let Logan Paul leave, shoved him against the little Tron at the front of the ring, went in, beat down CM Punk. And then Logan Paul actually came in and made the save for CM Punk.
Face Logan Paul?
Copped a spear and then a tsunami. That wraps up our opening segment of Raw. Backstage, Punk's looking for a fight. And he has main event Jey Uso come up. Be like, all right, Us, if you need help with Bron and Bronson, I'm it. I'm your man.
I respect you. You faced me one-on-one, face-to-face.
It was just something fishy about how cheery Jey Uso was talking to Punk.
They can't pick his character. Is he a face? Is he a heel? Is he turning heel? Is he not
But
turning
literally,
heel?
like you have that happen on Saturday night's main event. And especially what Jey Uso put on social media after. All right, you guys win. The bird emoji.
But also from Jay's perspective, like Punk just beat him one-on-one between the ropes. There was no shenanigans. There was no nothing. Like it was man-to-man, mono-a-mono. It was a proper
Is that why
match.
he was just like, yeah, okay.
I think so.
I'm done.
I
I'll
think
help
that's
you.
the story you tell us that he can be like, fair enough. Like we bested each other. You beat me. There was no interference. There was no ifs, buts, or maybes.
Yeah.
We had a match. You beat me. Congratulations.
They get the main event slot. Jey
It's main
Uso.
event Jey.
Yeah, main event Jey Uso. Teaming with your brand new World Heavyweight Champion, CM Punk, against Bron and Bronson. Now, this match was pretty damn good. Heyman got in Jay's ear backstage to try and like worm his way in, get Jay thinking about some other possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
One line that I wrote down was that he said to Jay, you have a vision all of your own, and I like it. And I was like, that's planting the seeds.
Subtle.
Planting the seeds. So we'd go on to the main event, ends in a double count out, which I think
Lame
a lot of
finish.
people were pretty upset about because they were just brawling on the outside. Fight ensues around the ring. We have weapons come in. Jey Uso gets taken out. CM Punk's in the ring with a steel chair going against Bron and Bronson. Then Logan Paul comes out with his brass knuckles, stands side by side with CM Punk. And then as they're about to launch their attack, bam! Logan Paul socks CM Punk in the face with the brass knucks. And then slowly hands the brass knuckles over to Paul Heyman.
So is this Logan Paul joining the Vision, or is this Logan Paul with a partnership of convenience for the next couple of weeks?
It's a really good question. I personally don't think it's going to be the first one.
But hang
joining the Vision.
But isn't everybody on the internet saying that we want the Vision to be like the future of the business?
Yeah.
So we want all these under 30s wrestlers because age is such a big problem, right? So we need to get
who's
these
under
young,
30?
We need to get young people involved with the Vision. These future superstars, future WrestleMania people like Bron Breakker. We need to get them in here,
Yeah.
but not Logan Paul. We don't want Logan Paul. Why would you do that? No. Hang on.
That's not who we want.
But Logan Paul's under 30.
Yeah, correct.
He's the future of the business.
Yes.
He's probably going to main event
He's-
WrestleMania at some point.
He's going to.
But we don't want him.
No.
Pick your lane, guys.
Yeah.
I don't think he fits the Vision.
Yeah, I feel like it's just the partnership of convenience with War Games looming
Yes.
in 3 weeks. You got 3 weeks to War Games.
Jeez, yeah, right.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a War Games prediction show that's going to come out next week, so I hope you enjoy that one.
I don't know why we're pointing at that.
What are you pointing at?
Look, I think this was a fine angle. I think that, like we've said with Cody and stuff as well, is that like when you get into the War Games season, it kind of puts a stop between whatever storyline you have because it has to go into a War Games.
Yeah.
So your title's not going to get defended. You don't really want to set up a new challenger. Seth's off injured. What is Punk doing? You're not running back Jay again. You're not going to have LA Knight because he's now buried and everybody hates him backstage.
Could we just bring back the brand versus brand?
You
Rotate
just
what
want the old
happens.
Survivor Series match, don't you?
Rotate what happens at Survivor Series every year. 1 year, do a War Games. The other year, do a 5 versus 5.
Yeah.
The other year, do the brand War Games.
I mean, the problem is it's called Survivor Series War Games now. So it's always going to have the War Games match. But
It's just getting boring, to be honest.
I think, yeah, this is a partnership of convenience. I don't mind Logan Paul in this spot because then maybe you have at then Saturday night's main event with John Cena's final match, you have CM Punk versus Logan Paul.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
can
a
see
totally
that.
fine match to put on. You know who's going to win, but it'll be fun to watch.
Yep.
And it's not the reason that you tune in to go watch the event because everyone's going to watch that just to see John Cena.
Correct. Absolutely. Moving on to other news in the show.
Yeah. There's only a couple of things I want to talk about from Raw, but you go through what you think it is first.
Well, I want to talk about Dominic's Mysterio segment
Yes.
on Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
'Cause I've got the notes for everything that
Okay,
happened
all
on
right.
Raw,
I'll
so
leave the
don't
notes to the end.
stress. Don't
It's fine.
stress.
All right, you got this.
I got everything.
Reece
I
has
got
got
everything.
this.
We don't have to talk about everything, but I've got everything just in case. Dominic Mysterio comes out, starts touting how he's the best in the world. He's the
king
greatest.
of the luchadors.
King of the luchadors. He gets interrupted by a returning Rey Mysterio, who comes out and
Happens
says,
to be his father.
"Yeah,
Also a luchador. How wild.
crazy." Crux of it is, Rey says, as long as he's around, Dom's not the king of the luchadors. It isn't his ring, and he's not the best Mysterio alive.
So as long as he's around.
As long as he's around. And you know what? I put a video out earlier this week on social media. Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio. Title versus career at Survivor Series in their hometown of San Diego.
Okay.
Now, my initial point, before we get to it, my initial point was this stops John Cena from having a match with Dominic Mysterio and getting the Intercontinental Championship
Does it?
and getting a Grand Slam. Well, we've had some comments on said social media video that said to have this work and flow a little better is for Dom to get that match with John Cena
At
for the
Madison Square
Intercontinental.
Garden, not garage. You can do it here.
Well, absolutely, we can do it here. We can clear the pool table, or you can do it on the pool table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that. We'll move the light and stuff out of the way and you can
Yeah.
hit it at F5 and stuff like
Madison Square Garden, Dominic versus John Cena, and Rey Mysterio costs Dom the Intercontinental Championship. So then it's the AAA Mega Championship,
Correct, because the
on
talk
the
is
line
about
at Survivor Series.
King of the Luchadors.
Yes,
which
correct.
is the AAA title, not the
And Rey
Intercontinental.
Mysterio has never held that championship either.
Yep.
So that I think that like after putting, I'm just trying to bait people's reactions with the no Grand Slam championship thing. But it makes sense.
I think it makes the most sense. I think
Yeah.
you have Dom. We all want to see Dom and Cena in the last run. If Dom has the match at Madison Square Garden against John Cena wins the IC title there. And then you have
see how it happens.
and then you have Dom versus Rey, title versus career in their hometown in San Diego at Survivor Series. Because I think, like with all of the other retirement stuff going on, I think Rey Mysterio is probably one of those people that is humble enough that he doesn't need the pomp and stance of what John Cena's getting right now for his retirement. I think
He's already a Hall of Famer.
absolutely, and he's ready to go. And he's had his time down in the AAA shows throughout this year. He's done Worlds Collide. He's been talking and stuff there as well. So like, I think he's had what he's had so far this year. If he was to retire, it was going to be a match probably at WrestleMania, or it would be a match in like AAA or something like that, like one of those matches, or to be in his hometown.
Yeah.
This is a Big Four pay-per-view in his hometown.
Yeah.
Against probably his son. I mean, it could be Eddie
Just lines
Guerrero's
up.
son, depends on if you talk to Dom about it. It all lines up and it makes a total sense. And I think that it's like that to me is the best storytelling that you can have for this. But then it's also like a stake to the heart that like within a couple of weeks we might have Rey Mysterio and John Cena retire.
Both gone.
And then AJ Styles next year. Like it's our childhood
It's
is
rough,
ending.
man. It's rough. I want to throw out a bit of a theory on a possibility on how Dom loses his championship, because I think during the like promos for the time is now farewell tournament, Dom was showed. So a lot of people are suspecting that everyone that gets showed in the vignette
Is in the tournament.
is in the tournament. So Dom versus someone, maybe Penta, just to line it up with how the stories have been going recently. Rey Mysterio costs him that match while John Cena is ringside, which then leads to Dom beating down Rey Mysterio, and John Cena comes into the ring to help
Save. Yep.
make the save for Rey Mysterio. And then
And
there's
Dom
a scuffle
stops
with
John.
Dom and John, and then they have the match then and there after Dom has failed to advance in the tournament. And because Ray's still at ringside, that's how he costs.
Loses the title. I'm not against it. I would love to see John Cena win the IC title, be a Grand Slam champion, and then because I don't know if you put John Cena in your Survivor Series War Games match.
No, and I actually watched Santi's clip on this today. Are you really going to put John Cena in one of the most brutal matches that we have at the moment?
And risk
risk an injury for his farewell match 2 weeks after.
No,
you are absolutely not doing that. He's not being in War Games.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident that he should be in War Games.
Yeah. Get over your ridiculous stories.
So that means that he then defends the IC title at Survivor Series against someone. Sheamus.
And then Sheamus doesn't get it.
Don't be that guy. Sheamus deserves the title.
Couple other things from Raw. So Penta defeats El Grande Americano after attempting to get help from his little Bravo guys, whatever they're called.
Rayo and Bravo.
Bravo. It's got 5 R's in it, as we were clued into by
Mr. Barrett on commentary.
Yeah, Mr. Barrett on commentary. Not much going on in that space at the moment.
Only question to that I was going to ask you is when does Penta win a title? And does he ever win a singles title in WWE?
Give me the fucking Lucha Brothers. God damn it. That's all I'm saying.
You mean after Ray Phoenix is getting jobbed out on SmackDown?
Jobbed out. Did you see the size of the man that he faced?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the taller Tonga.
He's the tallest one.
But
do you think Penta gets an IC run? Do you think Penta ever gets into the world picture? Do you think Triple H is the kind of booker that is going to put a lucha masked wrestler forward into his world titles?
World titles? No.
Why?
Just don't see it. I don't see it.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like there's too much other potential around both world titles.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Penta quite fits in that scene.
I think in the ring he does.
Well, yeah, in the ring, but like story-wise, the thing with a lot of world championship feuds is you've got to be able to hold your own in the ring on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like maybe this is why Shinsuke didn't get another bloody any world championship, to be honest. You got to be good at every aspect of professional wrestling.
I'm a little worried that Penta and Ray Phoenix are both stagnating for too long before they get their proper chances.
Yeah.
If you're not giving them an IC title run or a mid-card run or something, just make them a tag team and give them the tag titles, please.
Yeah. We have 2 singles competitors as our champions on Raw.
How good would the Lucha Brothers versus Dragon Lee and AJ Styles be?
Oh, sign me up.
Sick
sign
match.
me up. AJ and Dragon Lee would retain.
Yes.
Against the Judgment Day.
And again, the Judgment Day in the ring, banger. They are such good wrestlers.
4-star classic.
Let them wrestle.
Yeah, let them wrestle. Bang.
JD McDonough, man. He's good.
I do see Sheamus Finn Balor at one point in the finals of the tournament. Ooh, sign me up. Sign me up. The only other things from Raw are women related, so let's touch on that. Roxanne and Raquel picking up the victory over Nikki Bella and our women's world champion, Stephanie Vaquer, copping a loss. Ridiculous.
Well, I mean, Nikki copped a loss.
She's part of the team. She cops the L as well. It goes on a record.
It's true.
On a
Cage
record.
Match will say she lost.
But Roxanne picks up another victory over Nikki Bella, 2nd week in a row. So I'm pretty happy about that. I wasn't happy about Stephanie losing.
But this is only for Nikki to turn on Stephanie.
Yeah, I'm just...
match, right?
Why are we putting Nikki Bella in?
So awkward. The way they were hugging each other backstage and stuff. It's
not a vibe, man.
Awkward.
I'm just waiting for Nikki to turn just so she can get a title match. That's all I'm waiting for.
Yeah, and then lose at Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yeah, there you go. Saturday night, they have to bolster that show. It's John Cena's final ever match.
Absolutely.
CM Punk versus Logan Paul. Stephanie Vaquer outclassing Nikki Bella.
And then probably Damian Priest versus Aleister Black 7.
Gross.
We'll get to that.
Just before the main event on Raw, Asuka would tap out Lyra Valkyria, so the Kabuki Warriors would beat Bird Lady and Bayley and essentially assert themselves as the number 1 contenders for the Women's Tag Team Championship.
Because Shalexa then came out and made a save.
Yep. Yeah, Charlotte and Alexa, who would then have use this to pivot into SmackDown. Have a pretty good segment, I feel. They had a great match, not Charlotte and Nia. They worked much better than they did last time in the ring. We all know what happened in that situation.
Wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah, I was watching delayed. I started SmackDown like an hour later.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there kind of like multitasking. I was like, why the fuck is my screen flashing black? And I was like, they only do that when there's like a wardrobe malfunction. Then I saw a still later on. I was like, oh man, like it was all out.
It was all out. Did you see her tweet this morning?
No.
So someone put like that tweet up, not the picture of it, but like one of those awkward like meme faces. And it was like, well, guess, Charlotte's got to have a wardrobe malfunction. And her response was, maybe I need to keep wrestling in the robes.
Ridiculous. But yeah, they'd have a good match. And then as Charlotte was getting on top towards the end of the match, mystery attacker. Well, not really that much of a mystery, but we had Lash Legend attack Alexa Bliss, distracting Charlotte, allowing Nia to capitalize, hit the Annihilate Her, and pin Charlotte Flair.
Her. A couple of things that I love from this was the debut, or not really debut, she's been on SmackDown before, but like maybe the main roster reintroduction of Lash Legend.
Yeah.
If you're going to team now Nia and Lash Legend as two monster heels in this women's tag division, holy, that's going to be fun.
That's going to be great. And like with how Lash Legend is.
Yeah. But also,
like, we've all seen the Scoop Slam with Otis. We've all seen what she did to Piper as well.
Yep.
Like, this is going to be an indestructible tag team.
And then when she eventually turns on Nia and does it to her.
Oh, man. The crowd's going to erupt.
Pop. Who would have thought a couple of years ago that the women's tag team division would be the best booked women's division the WWE has? Shalexa, Zaruka, Judgment Day,
Nikki and Stephanie.
Bird Person and Bailey,
Kabuki Warriors,
Nia and Lash, and then possibly a returning Rhea and Io. That to me is a very, very fun division of all fair challenges, to be fair.
Give me a women's tag team championship ladder match. Sign me up.
Oh, like a big 6-pack ladder match. Yeah, do it. Why not?
Sign me up. And put Nia through a ladder off the top of the ladder.
The other thing to touch on this, and this kind of goes back to what we were talking about with Grayson Waller earlier about maximizing your minutes. The fact that Asuka for SmackDown painted off her whole face, did everything, whatever, just to pretend to be a doctor and spit in her face for 10 seconds. Brilliant.
Love it.
Because that goes to show the dedication that Asuka has for the bit and for the role, but that also extended this feud so much more from a 10-second backstage vignette.
Yeah.
So well done. This division is the best booked women's division they've got.
Pivoting to the world championship scene for the women on SmackDown, Jade had a very quick,
very big dog Roman Reigns promo. Yeah. I'm the big dog, and then out.
Wow. She comes in the ring and she's like, as a message to all the women in that division backstage, that's a warning. I'm that bitch. Out she goes. I feel like after that dominant performance she put on at Saturday Night's Main Event against Tivy, that's all you needed to do. I'm that bitch. Step. But why are we having B-Fab be the first one to step up? I immediately questioned it and I was like, it's just so Jade can have another absolutely dominant performance.
She's going to
destroy someone.
Yep.
And it's B-Fab. And then you know what? It'll be Michin.
Yep.
And I hope... No, I'd better not say that. I was going to say, I hope she takes Michin out forever. But I do not wish injury upon anyone. Last bit on the women. United States Championship match. Julia versus Chelsea Green.
Here's some more controversy.
Over in about 6 seconds flat nearly. It wasn't quite that, but it was a quick match. Couple of cheeky roll-up attempts. And then Chelsea Green, after some distraction on the outside, roll up, foot in the ropes. Julia loses. Chelsea Green is a double champ. So just like Ethan Page.
This to me is two different parts of WWE booking stories, and one area being like, no, we're more important. And Road Dogg, as the booker of SmackDown, being like, fine, do what you need. Chelsea winning this title has nothing to do with SmackDown. It has nothing to do with the Women's United States title on SmackDown or Julia or anything on those lines. It is everything to do with her being the mixed tag team champions with Ethan Page for AAA and all the stuff she's been doing on NXT. And It's all to do with a different storyline for a different show. It has nothing to do with Julia. Do I think it's a bad thing? No. Do I think Chelsea will do more for this title? She was like as the
Well, she
secret
did-
nervous.
yeah.
She was great when she had it previously.
Exactly.
I think her and Ethan Page as double champs. Yeah,
Yes.
correct. Are going to be heaps more entertaining if this means you also get a bit more Ethan Page on SmackDown as you
Absolutely.
do, and you get
We need
Chelsea
that.
Green on
We need
NXT.
that.
All for it, right? This is probably the right decision for the character development of them to move them forward. Is this completely burying Julia? Yes.
She didn't get a chance to be good at all in that championship run.
No.
And I feel like, given what they're doing with Guilia currently, who we'll touch on in a second, she easily could have been that sort of caliber to be like, I'm going to open challenge the women's division for the United States Championship. And she would go on and put a banger with everyone in that division.
Yep, I agree. Do you know how I think this is me future booking? I'm gonna. Do you know the only way I think you can save Julia now?
No, I got no idea, to be honest.
So what you do is you get her backstage or whatever, and then Kiana James is like, well, you should have listened to me. And Julia's like,
split
no,
up.
you suck. You were terrible. You never did anything for me. You didn't help me. Slap her across the face. I need to go to someone that can actually help me to be a better wrestler.
And she becomes the third Kabuki warrior.
Correct answer. She goes straight to Asuka.
Smart.
I mean, how else do you fix Julia? You can't. You're not putting her up against Jade Cargill, who just dominantly destroyed Tiffany Stratton. No.
But it's two sides of the coin. Like, you look at Stephanie and Julia came up
completely.
pretty much at the same time, different shows. One's world champion, one just lost a championship after not doing much with it, which is kind of unfortunate.
I think, look, she was underutilized. This was a poor run. She was not booked well. I don't think any of it's her fault in terms of the way that she works in the ring. Because I think in the ring
booking.
she's great. Her
It's the
booking has been terrible. I think that you're better off with Chelsea Green having the US title because they're not booking that title seriously. Right? Like you compared it to Ilya. When Sammy was the US title and he had the Open Challenge, it was booked like that way. Ilya is doing the same thing. You at least are having some storyline, but also great banging matches.
Yeah.
Julia and before her Chelsea and like that whole US title.
Even
whatever,
Zelina, like Zelina didn't do much and then she lost it to Julia.
None of it was any good. So why would you waste your time trying to fix that division when you've got really nothing to put it in there? Give it back to Chelsea Green, make it a prop on her, make it look fun and relevant on TV for a little while until she loses it again. Because that's what happened when Zelina beat her. No one was keen on Zelina Vega, but like she beat Chelsea Green. That was pretty cool.
Gets a moment.
Get Julia away from that. Get Julia away from SmackDown because it's just not working over there with her. And I think put her with the Kabuki Warriors. As shitty as that sounds,
I think that'd be really good for her.
give her some time with Asuka and stuff to get better and help with, her promo, help with her character development a little bit. It's not her in-ring work that needs help. She's a fantastic wrestler. Just give her some time to wrestle and give her a character to wrestle with and she'll be fine.
Yep. Speaking of keeping people away from things, Ilya has, for the second week consecutively, kept Ciampa away from answering an open challenge by instead picking his partner, Johnny Gargano, in the open challenge. They had an absolute banger match.
Yeah.
What I don't like about watching SmackDown late is the fact that it cuts through ad breaks, even if a match is on, so I missed half of it because of the ad breaks.
Oh, because you weren't watching it live.
Yeah, because on Netflix it just auto jumps when there's ad breaks on.
Maybe you should watch it live then.
Yeah, but then I have to deal with the stupid ad breaks when there's no match on. Boo, boo,
First
boo,
world problems.
boo, 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 boo,
Great Netflix music.
boo, boo, boo. I fucking hate it. Hate it.
I think this is really fun. I like the fact that you are doing an open challenge every week with random people every time.
But also building a story.
But having a story. It's
So the next time,
booked.
like, there's an actual match that's booked for the United States Championship. It's Ciampa.
Yeah.
He's not going to be answering an open challenge. He's going to be getting his deserved championship opportunity.
Correct.
Now let's talk about Cody Rhodes in the main event scene. So it had a little bit of an interesting kerfuffle happen on SmackDown. Cody kicks off the show, hangs shit on Drew, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go sit in the crowd. Gets interrupted by Aleister Black and Zelina Vega.
Zelina.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She's lost the Vega part,
Yep.
which is unfortunate because that was named after...
Savio Vega. Wasn't it?
thought it was from Vega, from Soul Calibur, the game, because she's into gaming.
Oh, I didn't know that. Sure.
No, we'll fact check it. Get back to you
Zelina,
guys.
let us know in the comments.
Zelina proceeded to slap Cody Rhodes. Cody gets all flustered. Nick Aldis makes the match official. Aleister Black versus Cody Rhodes for the main event, which, no contest. Drew McIntyre would come out, Claymore the referee, who happened to cost him the WWE Championship. Mm-hmm. So then Cody comes over and tries to beat up John Cena.
Then the Weber, Damian Priest comes out.
Yeah, Aleister Black and Drew are beating on Cody. Damian Priest comes out, beats on there.
So this to me, right? This to me is when you have like 3-day-old leftovers.
3-week-old leftovers, more like.
Like you've had it before and it was fine.
When you
now
had it
you've got
again.
nothing else to have. But then when you get it, you get your leftovers and you heat it up and then like you mix it together with like a different kind of sauce. You put it on toast or something and you make a toasty sandwich out of it. And you're like, oh, that's actually really good.
And
That's
then you
what
go
this is. It's the same shit you've had days ago,
But different.
but slightly different. You're like, yeah, this is exciting.
We're
The
gonna get
chaos of all 4 of them. I think this, hopefully,
Fatal 4-way.
Fatal 4-Way at Survivor Series.
Yeah, there we go.
Cody, Aleister Black,
Whoa.
Drew. Well, assuming Drew's not suspended.
Yeah, well, he's suspended, so we'll see how
and
long
Damian
that...
Priest. I think that you haven't had a Fatal 4-Way since, was it Roman at the Rumble a couple of years ago? They had a 4-way. Oh, have they had a 4-way since? Was there Punk? There was a Punk one, wasn't there? No?
Seth, Punk, Jay, LA Knight.
Yeah, right. A couple of months ago. Yeah, sure. That one. But other than that, like, I think that I don't want to see a tag match. I don't want to see Cody and Damian versus Drew and Aleister. Don't care. Straight to a Fatal 4-Way. If
Boring.
this then means that you have the Fatal 4-Way so that Cody can drop the title to Drew without having to eat a pin and everybody's happy that Cody doesn't get pinned, fine. Do it. If that's Damian Priest that has to get pinned,
We don't care
I don't
about
care
Damian
who it
Priest.
is. I don't
Weapon
care.
time.
Just let
Fuck off.
somebody other than Cody be the champion.
Please.
Give it to Drew McIntyre.
Yes.
I also like that Drew was in a white singlet, white pants. Very different.
very
to his
different.
normal black because he's the hero and everyone's always against him.
It's the subtle details. With that, we're going to wrap it up. There's nothing else to talk about.
I don't think so. I mean, we could talk about the cake on NXT and how good Chelsea Green has been down there.
Oh, I've
Joe
never
Hendry.
been creamed like this before in my life.
Matt, I literally, as soon as I saw that, I went and just like commented on the post. I was like, just in the comments to see what Matt Cardona says,
Yeah.
which was fantastic. I didn't have anything else. I said that the women's tag division is the best.
Yeah.
Chelsea Green.
I think we're all good. I think we've covered everything. It's been a big show. Big show this week.
It has.
Make sure you tune in.
Are we still picking for the John Cena tournament? Are you still picking Gunther?
He's going to be in the next round. So, like, I assume the way that it's going to work is this week they announced the first 4 matches.
Yep.
Next week they'll announce the next 4 matches, so the next 8 competitors. I assume Gunther's going to be that. Dom, Finn, a few others.
Is the final going to be at Survivor Series?
I think that it will be a logical step because we've got 3 weeks. So I think that's plenty of time because you go
Yep.
8 matches to 4 to 2 to 1.
So 8-4-2
No.
would put the 2. Oh no, that'd be the week before. You know that makes sense.
Yeah,
Because you've got your.
I think it'll work out.
Yep, it would. Because
Yeah.
that would make the final be at Survivor Series, and then you've got 2 weeks from that point to build for the Saturday Night's main event.
Correct.
Which we know John Cena, so
Yes.
it'll be on the winner's shoulders to bolster that feud for the next couple of weeks.
So I'm trying to think who's going to be able to hold their own on the mic to drum up interest. Well, it's John Cena's last match. That's interesting
You don't
enough,
need
right?
interest, yeah.
But to try and like continue that hype train
Uh-huh.
onto it once we find out who it is, I feel like mic-wise, Gunther is going to be able to hold it for a couple of weeks and get people like extremely against him in the lead up
Or
to Saturday Night's main event.
you have him so dominant throughout the entire tournament that when he wins, that the next 2 weeks he just flat out destroys people on Raw. Like he has a match
Wouldn't mind that.
against Penta, and Penta just gets destroyed.
Yeah.
And then he has a match against.
Oh, this
somebody.
just lines it up, dude. Fucking Jey Uso and Gunther in the final again.
Oh, then he's going to put him to sleep. Or is he going to tap? And then he doesn't tap.
It all makes sense.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
God damn it. All right, we're going to wrap it up there because I don't want to talk about that anymore. Thank you for tuning in. This has been Mr. Dan Danielson. I've been Roddy Reece. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. Go subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. We're at currently, as of recording, 919 subscribers, 81 left. Shut up. 81 left to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark by the end of the year. Please help us get to that milestone. Share with your friends. Ask us to do
Share
content.
with your enemies. Why not?
Yeah, why not? People you hate, like Mr. Teshk, boom, send it to him. Go subscribe to these guys.
Send it to Ridge Holland. Tag him in it.
Send it to Ridge Holland. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time down under the mat. Too sweet.